Dr. Aminot Bloodworm, 1577, has a great question. Have you ever bought an old tool simply because, like me, you didn't know what it was or its purpose? Dude, not only have I actively look for things that I don't know what they are and what they do. Yeah, I totally do that. Nothing pleases me more than an object of obvious utility, i.e., it was used for something, but no idea what that use was. Like, that's fantastic to me. If I was a fine artist instead of what I'm doing now, and I was showing sculptures, one of the avenues I was starting down just at the moment I sort of transitioned from doing sculpture to putting my creativity into my career, into special effects, one of the last things I was working on, and this is like 94, 95, was objects that were clearly tools for something, but of mysterious mysterious origin and mysterious function. There is, in this regard, if you like those kinds of things, there is an amazing book called the Codex Seraphinianus. I can't quite pronouncing the last part. Codex Seraph. Google will finish it for you. You don't have to remember how to spell it. It is a encyclopedia of an alien world. And it's all illustrated by this crazy Italian. I say crazy simply because the book itself is crazy. I have no idea of the mental health of the person that drew this book, but I have known about, I heard about it in 1991 and bought my copy from Green Apple Books in 1992, I believe. Or maybe it was a little later. It was expensive. God, it's a gorgeous book. The writing is all in some other language, and the drawings are in colored pencil and watercolor, and they're just, it's like the way things work, but as if it was written for an alien world and an alien culture. But I've buried the lead. You asked about things that I bought that I don't know what they're for, and I've got one to show you, and let's see if this live stream can help me figure out what the hell these things are. I found them at a garage sale in the Sunset, probably in the last 10 to 15 years. Okay, let's go over the form of these. What I have here are a pair of leather triangles with straps and buckles and 2 holes. Now, I would assume that what would go through those 2 holes is a leather thong of some kind, as a standard piece of a lot of pieces of hardware, like a holster or something like this. I'm assuming that this buckle goes around a limb or something. This is clearly meant to be held onto something. But then we've got these giant suede noses, and they're bilaterally symmetrical. So what the hell is this thing? I mean, I just have no idea. Of course, the first part of me wonders if this goes somewhere here and this is some kind of protector, or your leg can't fit through here. On the back of one of this, it says, no, it just says $7.95, which is, I think, what I paid for these. This is grease pencil. These are well made. These are well made. They're machine stitched, which is a big fat leather machine. They're edge finished, but they're used. So they did what they were supposed to do, but I don't know at all what that is. I do think of these things as they must be protective pads in some fashion, but for what, I have no idea. And honestly, if we discern the function of these in this live stream, or, I put this on Twitter and I get an answer, I'll actually be a little disappointed. I love the tension of the mystery of the object of obvious yet opaque function. Yeah. Years ago, I bought a thing that was a squeeze handle with a spring between it. And I was like, what is this for? And it turns out it's just it's for tapping powdered sugar on pastries. I was sad when I found that out. It sat on a shelf in my workbench, in my workshop for a decade and a half before someone was like, oh, it's a pastry sprinkler for what do you call it? Cake sugar, icing sugar. Oh, wait, we got some, oh, no, not there. We got something here. Kenny D. I just got a bunch of Billy bookcases, hoping to have a setup a fraction as cool as yours. Aw, shucks. And I was wondering, Kenny D says, if you have any modifications you've made or would recommend from how you had them set up in your cave from years back. So let's talk about the Billy bookcase, like a bread and butter bookcase from IKEA. It comes in, I think, black and white. It might come in a natural wood as well. It comes in a natural wood, like all IKEA furniture. The base model is a cabinet, which is effectively a box, and a set of wooden shelves. So the mods I made for the 15 Billies I've got here was that I replaced all the shelves with glass shelves, which you can purchase for Billy bookcases. And I added doors with glass fronts that you can also purchase for Billy bookcases. And then my friend Darren Hunt, who's an art director here in San Francisco that I've worked with on and off for 30 plus years, gave me the idea of running, instead of lighting the underside of every shelf, run a strip of LED lighting up the mullion. Now, that strip, 6 feet of the old school LED strip I had, draws a lot of power. I should probably swap them all out because it's like, I need like a 6 amp power supply to keep all 15. So it's a 15 Billy bookcases at 5 feet per 75 feet of linear LEDs. It's a lot. It's a lot of power, and I could probably lower its output by replacing them with some new ones because I built these 12 years ago. The other thing I would do is I simply stuck the LEDs using their self-stickum, and then I ran hookup wire across the top. If I was doing this again, I would run the hookup wire across the bottom on the underside. That's just cleaner and neater. I would use a cabling stapler to route those hookup wires so that they went. And I would label my wires, which was not a practice I was heavily indulging in back in those days, but it's caused me some issues setting these things up to power. One other thing that I did was I bought foam core and I cut it out. And so the Billy bookcase, the structure of the Billy bookcase is, it's a box, but it's got a middle shelf that's permanently mounted in it. So what I did was I bought foam core from the art store and cut it to fit the back of both of those compartments, the top and the bottom. And I mean, one, IKEA furniture is great. You should never expect to move it. You should build it where it's going to get used, and then IKEA furniture does not move well. And the other thing about IKEA furniture is often the back of stuff looks like absolute crap. And the back of Billy bookcases, I don't have much truck with them. It's just this thin particle board with the stickum that looks like the wood. It's just not that interesting to me. So I like the foam core. And I also like the foam core because it bounces more light. I can see into those bookcases. Looking into a black bookcase full of stuff just makes me crazy. I want to understand everything. So that was the other thing. I did foam core backs, LED up the mullion, glass shelves, glass doors. Good luck. Send us a picture when you complete it. I love the idea. I love nothing more than lots and lots of Billy bookcases. Then at some point in my future, I want to set a thing up with like dozens of them. Yes. I will say no more just now. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.